The fighting falcon was gone. Dragged into the dark depths of the Nile by a rogue beast, King Hor-Aha left behind a kingdom paralyzed by shock. In the ancient world, the sudden death of a god-king was an invitation to chaos. The enemies of Egypt, both within and beyond its borders, waited to see if the fragile union of the two lands would shatter. But out of the morning came a leader who would not just maintain the empire, he would elevate human civilization to heights never seen before. His name was Djer, the Consolidator. Ascending the throne as the third pharaoh of the First Dynasty, King Djer faced a heavy burden. His grandfather, Narmer, had united the lands with blood. His father, Hor-Aha, had built the capital of Memphis. Djer's mission was different. He had to transform a military union into a living, breathing civilization. He was the first pharaoh born into a stable, undisputed golden age, and he intended to use this piece to master the arts of life, death, and empire. While later civilizations viewed medicine as magic, King Djer viewed it as a science. Archaeologists would later make a stunning discovery, dating back to his reign. The earliest complex copper medical instruments were forged. Inscriptions even suggest that Djer himself, or his royal court, authored treatises on anatomy. More than 5,000 years ago, while the rest of the world lived in tribal darkness, Egypt was already practicing organized surgery, setting bones, and studying the mysteries of the human body. But science required resources, and resources required war. To fuel Egypt's booming bronze and copper industries, Djer turned his eyes to the east. He led a massive military expedition into the treacherous deserts of the Sinai Peninsula. This wasn't just a defensive maneuver, it was a brutal campaign to secure the ancient copper mines. Rock inscriptions left in the desert walls stand as a testament to his victory, showing the pharaoh striking down local chieftains, securing Egypt's grip on the region's mineral wealth. Djer's ambitions did not stop in the desert. He pushed Egypt's influence deep into the Levant, establishing trade networks that reached modern-day Israel and Lebanon. He demanded the legendary cedar wood of Lebanon to construct his grand palaces and royal fleets. Under his rule, Memphis became the economic capital of the ancient world. Exotic oils, precious metals, and foreign materials flowed continuously into the royal treasuries, turning the First Dynasty into a global superpower. Under his rule, Memphis became the economic capital of the ancient world. Exotic oils, precious metals, and foreign materials flowed continuously into the royal treasuries, turning the First Dynasty into a global superpower. As the empire grew wealthier, Djer focused on the spiritual heart of his people. He poured massive wealth into the sacred city of Abydos, the burial ground of the kings. He understood that religious unity was the ultimate key to political control. He formalized the complex rituals of the royal court, positioning the pharaoh not just as a ruler, but as the cosmic anchor keeping the universe from falling into chaos. Djer's obsession with the afterlife culminated in the construction of his magnificent tomb at Abydos. It was the largest and most complex structure of its time. Centuries after his death, later generations of Egyptians looked at this grand monument with such awe that they forgot it belonged to a mortal king. They came to believe it was the actual, physical tomb of Osiris, the god of the underworld. For thousands of years, it became the most sacred pilgrimage site in all of Egypt. But the grandeur of Djer's reign carried a dark, terrifying price. Excavations of his burial complex revealed a grim reality of the early First Dynasty: retainer sacrifice. Surrounding Djer's final resting place were over 300 secondary graves. When the king died, his elite servants, artisans, and women were buried with him to serve him in the afterlife. It was a brutal display of ultimate power, a practice that would soon vanish from Egyptian history, but one that defined the absolute authority of King Djer. King Djer ruled Egypt for over 40 years, an astonishingly long and prosperous reign for the ancient world. He took a newly united kingdom and forged it into an intellectual, military, and economic titan. He proved that Egypt was not a temporary alliance, but an eternal civilization. Though his kingdom used practices that shocked the modern mind, his innovations in medicine, trade, and writing laid the foundation for the pyramids that would follow. He was King Djer, the architect of Egypt's first golden age.